This video, people, is going to be a complete beginner's guide to starting the gym for the first time. I'm going to try to go over all the things you need to know to get yourself into the gym, get yourself active. The main topics I'm going to be covering is probably the gym essentials that you'll need to bring with you, training routine you should follow, nutrition, and a little bit about supplementation as well. The basic essentials you need to bring to the gym with you really are would be music, so you can bring your phone or an iPod so you can listen to music while you're there. I'd bring some headphones obviously so you can listen to the music, a water bottle, and potentially a towel as well. Next up on the list, I would say, is clothing. The clothing doesn't have to be your most expensive gym brand, but it really just needs to be something appropriate that you can wear in the gym and something that you personally find comfortable and don't mind going to the gym and training in. Next up is the workout routine you're going to be following once you're in the gym. These are also known as a training split or a bodybuilding split. If you hear that phrase, that's what it is. A bodybuilding split is basically a set of days you allocate to working certain body muscle groups. One example of a training split would be one called push-pull legs, and that's basically on push day you do loads of pushy motions, so you'll be working like mainly your chest, your shoulders and your triceps, because most of those movements are presses. Then you got pull day would be like a lot of exercises that involve like your back and your biceps and rear delt, things like that, because they're more like pulling sort of motions like deadlift. A good training split should allow you to train the desired muscle groups you would like to be training to the point you are training intensely, but not to the point where you're overexerting yourself and you won't be able to train for another few days. Muscle soreness is often referred to as DOMS in the gym kind of community. As a heads up, for your first 2 weeks in the gym, you're most likely going to feel a lot of muscle soreness after probably most workouts. It's purely because your body's more or less recruiting muscle fibers you probably don't work often on a daily basis. So just have a heads up for that. It's common and it will probably fade after the first 2 weeks if you continually go to the gym the same frequency. I suggest going to the gym 4 times a week, 3 times at a minimum really. In regards to what you should be doing during your session, if you're watching this video, basically you're most likely a beginner or someone that needs to go back to the basics. Really what you need to do is make sure you're building your foundation, your muscle foundation for your body. A great way to do that is adding compound lifting to your training routine. So basically, whereas bicep curls will just be training your biceps, exercises such as the deadlift and squat, they recruit more than one muscle group. So you deadlift, you're working your back, your legs, you're working almost your full body in a deadlift. Bench press, you're working your chest and your triceps. So that is what a compound move is. A lot of bodyweight exercises like push-ups and pull-ups are great compound moves. If you find a routine online, most likely it's going to talk about sets and reps. And if you don't know what sets are and reps are, reps just mean repetitions, how many of the exercises you're doing. So if you do 4 sets of 8, you're more or less doing 4 separate instances of 8 repetitions. Deciding what sets and reps you're going to do more or less depends on the goal that you're looking to do. If you're looking to be like a do some kind of strength training, increase your strength more than anything, then a lot of those guys do lower rep ranges, so they'll lift like a heavier weight but lift like say 3 to 5. Whereas a lot of people that want to do hypertrophy type training and more or less kind of grow your muscles bigger and go for the aesthetics, they will do something like 8 to 12. Hopefully this video is helping you guys so far. If so, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. But anyway, let's carry on with the correct form. Like, this is important purely down for 2 reasons. One, good form allows you to more or less avoid the chance of being injured in the gym. Second reason is because if you don't do the form correctly, you're most likely not going to be targeting the muscle groups you think you are. For example, on a bench press, if your elbows are way too wide out, you're putting in more emphasis on your shoulders than you are on your chest. But if you keep your elbows in and you start doing that, as you can see, my chest is getting more activated than my shoulders. Next up is nutrition. Nutrition is important purely because you can be training as hard as you want in the gym, but if you really want to see actual progress, you need to make sure you're eating the right food sources basically to fuel your body to actually show the gains. So don't just think you can go to the gym and work out as hard as you want and you're going to look absolutely lean and shredded if that's your goal. Because at the end of the day, if you want to get that kind of physique, you need to actually eat good as well. So basically the moral of the story is you can't eat junk food and expect to look wonderfully aesthetic. So eat nutrient dense foods. That doesn't mean that all you can eat is broccoli and chicken and green beans. You can have a balanced diet so you get to fit in some of the foods you like. The best way to look at it is the cleaner your diet is and the more efficient your training is going to be and the results are going to be. Obviously you can mess up on your diet, it's just going to be slower progress. The best thing I can say say is learn how to cook, because once you learn how to cook, you'll be able to come up with a lot of dishes yourself that you find tasty, that are probably still healthy for you. Because when you feel like, oh, I've got to eat this, I've got to eat that, you're more likely to fall off. And if you need more ideas, feel free to check out my full day of eatings. There's loads on there as well. So if you need any food ideas, or you want to kind of get the gist of how to track your macros, phrases that you might hear quite a lot if you have friends that go to the gym and stuff like that. Bulking basically is when you eat more than your daily calorie allowance. Cutting is when you eat less than it. But with bulking, you more or less, you will be getting stronger and trying to build muscle, whereas cutting, you're not technically building muscle, you're more trying to retain the muscle you have while cutting down to make yourself look a lot more lean. Alright, last but not least, well actually last and least, is supplements. If you're a beginner right now, really, supplements should be the least of your focus. Like eating whole foods and training effectively should be your main priority right now. Supplements should be a distant thought, and supplements in general, you don't really need them. They're not essential. Some are helpful, but they're not essential. Your main focus really should be following a structured routine, eating a bunch of whole foods, more or less, basically foods that you have to actually eat, not just drink and put in a shake. Real food is how you make real gains. So don't be convinced with these people trying to sell you their mass gainers on Instagram or their flat tummy tea, which is what these girls are doing. You don't need to do that. You don't need to take any of those stuff. If you really want to look into getting some supplements though, that to help you along, the ones I'd suggest would be the basics, which is a multivitamin, a multivitamin, a fish oil tab. If you can't hit your proteins via food, if you do go along the supplement route, a good brand to try is My Protein, because they're reasonably affordable. Like, they're one of the most cheapest. If you haven't bought anything from My Protein before, below I should have like a 25% discount code, so feel free to use that if you want to. But as I said earlier, these supplements are not essential. Those of you that may have a little bit of anxiety or a bit worried about going to the gym, don't be. Trust me, the gym is filled with some of the most nicest people you'll ever meet. They're friendly. If you ask them something, they are most likely going to help you out. Trust me, don't be intimidated by the gym. It's a whole bunch, basically a whole bunch of people, like-minded people with the same kind of goals, and everyone wants to see progress, and they'll be very good to you. I won't guarantee it, but I'll say most people. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you found this video informative, please thumbs up the video, or as I like to say, finger the thumbs up button, and I'll greatly appreciate it. Comment